We are live here on Sportzwire Radio, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about here. Getting you ready for another huge sold-out show that the IMF has dirty deeds, and we'll see if our guest here will continue to have some dirty deeds done dirt cheap to retain that United States Championship. That'll certainly be a match that a lot of people have been waiting to see. But before we get there and talk about that match that everybody's been waiting for in the Iowa community and the backyard, underground, and independent wrestling circuit, we go back and look at what happened at last month's show, where our guest here found a way to get yet another victory. He talked about the foundation, the weakest link, and he had his own issues with general manager Dirty Donnie. We'll definitely get into that. Plus, I'll ask our guest here what his thoughts are on a new Young Guns faction being formed and what he thinks about that. I'll also ask him on what else does he think about with the Sinners? What else is ahead? What is his thoughts are on the IMF hardcore champion, Ox McCoy? What is his thoughts on some new members in, new members out, Damian Saint, sure, a list of other things we'll definitely be talking about here. But since we are here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters here, and after all, our guest, considering he is the most controversial figure in backyard, underground, and independent wrestling history, I have to give him that 5-time Hall of Fame like introduction that he deserves. Because after all, you can say what you want about him. He has helped build this platform, and he has helped certainly himself in his very first match and his return to the IMF win championship gold. Despite how it showed up in the record books, or despite how it showed up, he's got that championship here already, and I'm going to get this show on the road and give our guest that introduction, that real deal like introduction here on a Monday night in prime time to start the week off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. A man that is forever a sinner. 5-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. The reigning, defending IMF United States Champion of the World. His name is simply put the Real Deal Anthony Steele. The champ is here. Champ, how are we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing
pretty good.
pretty
Good.
I'm actually doing well.
Alan McDermott's sunglasses, or just that's your own?
These are mine. I incorporated this way before he was even thought of. So it'll be all right.
You're older than him?
You said what?
You're that much older than him? You said right before he was even thought of. That means you'd be a lot older than him.
I mean his gimmick. See, again, he's playing a gimmick.
I see.
He wants to be me, and I'm sorry, no one could be Anthony Steele like Anthony Steele could be Anthony Steele. So let that be known.
There's a lot to talk about because, last night there was a Young Guns clique. They called themselves a Young Guns clique that was formed. And it started off with Nolan Money McDermott and the Evil Angel Judas. And they said they have more members that they're recruiting. More people have already agreed to join them. And they're targeting veterans coming up in the backyard, the underground, and the independent wrestling circuit in 2025. And I don't think you're one of the targets. I wouldn't necessarily consider you an old head or a severely, I guess, older veteran. But, maybe I'll ask you about that in a little while. I am going to avoid Mr. Brightside. I am not going to ask you about Mr. Brightside because that was a little much for my taste. Certainly that was a lot that happened there, and I want to avoid that. But I tell you what I do want to talk about here. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, a platform that Anthony Steele, the most controversial figure in backyard, underground, and independent wrestling history, has certainly built. Talk about the big win you had against Jordan Nets at last month's historic IMF.
Oh, I mean, it's simple. I told him that if he didn't come giving me 100%, that he was going to lose, and he came not 100%, and that's what happened. He lost. You know,
Yeah,
also money talks, but we'll get into that when need be.
money talk.
But money talk.
You mean
Well,
Nolan Money McDermott? I just spoke about him.
no. He writes checks, but his ass can't cash. See, me, I put money in front of your face, and like I said, money talks. So obviously, I mean, someone had to do something for the rest to not see that. But we'll get into that later. But Jordan,
I will say one thing I've noticed. I guess in the IMF, they must be big AC/DC fans because it was Highway to Hell last show. We've got Dirty Deeds this show. So I mean, somebody there must be fans of Angus Young and Malcolm Young and Brian Johnson and Phil Rudd. So I mean, I'm not going to ask you your preference. You don't strike me as an AC/DC guy, but certainly
I love AC/DC.
I know. So because DC famously had a song called Money Talks. Money, money, listen to the money talks. So maybe that was really where you kind of used some money talks to help yourself, maybe potentially,
Oh
you know.
yeah. See, me being a big AC/DC fan, let's bring up the newest album from 2020 that dropped. A song that really represented what was going on is a lot of people like to kick me when I'm down, and now that I'm at the top, I'm not down anymore. They want to try to knock me back down that pedestal, and it's not happening. And Jordan Nets thought that this was going to be his bright opportunity to shine.
Well, you have history with him. We spoke about that last time, and I remember when you wrestled Jordan Nets. You were here on this platform, I think literally a couple of weeks after you wrestled him. I remember the first time you officially came on here in April of 2023, just after you wrestled Mr. Nets.
Yep, and I told him then he's got what it takes to succeed in this industry, but he doesn't have what it takes to beat the real deal. And I proved it yet again. The thing about that situation is, I was going in there thinking like, no one's gonna like me, and I don't care if anyone likes me or not. But Jordan Nets was the hometown hero, basically.
Former world champion. We spoke about that tag team champion, Midwest Express. I mean, they've been just on an amazing run. You were there with them in Summer Bash. You've seen what they've done from afar. You've spoke about them on previous shows here. There's no question that what Jordan Nets has done, I mean, he's right there. He's a phenomenal talent.
You're right, but at the same time, it's funny you bring up some of those things because, like, the first matches we had over like 20 months ago, about a year and a half ago, a little over.
Yep, a little longer.
He lost, and then we go face to face again at Summer Bash inside the Rumble, and he got destroyed and eliminated by Anthony Steele. And then we're also in the ladder match together. And what happened then? He got destroyed by Anthony Steele. And then we go into Highway to Hell, and he thought something was going to change. And what happened? He got destroyed.
I guess I'll tell you what it could be. At first you don't succeed, just keep trying. I mean, Abraham Lincoln kept trying until he got elected president of the United States. I mean, we saw Donald Trump, he lost the 2020 election. He decided to keep running. Barack Obama kept running. I mean, so that's a common thing. Maybe Jordan Nets is just going to keep wrestling you so many times that eventually he'll get a victory. But it didn't happen at Highway to Hell, good sir.
Oh, no, it did not. And I feel like I'm Jordan Nets kryptonite. And, this is the one thing I believe. Jordan Nets calls himself the GOAT. He calls himself the GOAT. And I don't think he understands what that really means, because the GOAT means the greatest of all time. And the greatest of all time has never beaten Anthony Steele. So in that case, I'm the GOAT. Jordan Nets is
But does he
once
not have a victory over a man that you're going to see this Saturday?
on Black.
Yeah.
Oh, see, but that's the thing is when it comes to this Saturday, and me and Omen Black step in that squared circle,
And we're going to put that
and
poster up in a little while. We have the poster. Thank you to the IMF management for
I'm
granting us that.
I'm going to do what I set out to do, and that's get redemption.
So
See,
you're on a
this
redemption tour. So basically, you're here in the IMF to redeem yourself. Obviously, we're not going to go into different
not
things.
redeem myself.
No?
I'm here to redeem what wrestling meant to me,
Oh, okay.
and in the foundation, they represent what is wrong with wrestling.
The fans were really into them, though. When Omen came out, they seemed like they were really excited. They loved them.
Of course, hometown hero. That's what I keep saying. I'm the outsider. I'm an Illinois boy. I'm traveling 3.5 hours every month to perform for IMF, and of course they're going to cheer for the people that well, except Jordan Nets, that they love from Iowa. Omen is the face that Iowa loves to cheer for. But when it comes down to the Saturday, they're going to have no choice but to realize that Almond Black back then got a win. I was 6 months out of wrestling, hadn't stepped in a ring in 6 months, and I was going down some dark places. I was down, and he took advantage of it. And I give him props. I give him props. He found me at a vulnerable state, and he took advantage and used it to his advantage. And but now the difference is I'm not vulnerable anymore. I'm not down. And I did the same thing to Jovi. Jovi overloaded his plate, and I took advantage of it and became the
Omen
United
didn't
States
seem
champion.
like he was overloading his plate when he came out after your match with Mr. Nets. He seemed like the fans really liked him. They seemed like they were
I mean,
behind him and they believed in him, though.
of course they're going to believe him because Omen, before I showed up, Omen proved why he's a dominant force inside IMF. And I'm not going to take anything away from that.
Sure.
But the path that I've been on since coming to IMF the first time over a year and a half ago, it's completely different. Anthony Steele's been on a war path, and he's been taking on multiple fucking challengers, winning championships outside of IMF.
You did.
And
in the South. You were in the South. You certainly went to the South, and you obviously had some legendary wars in the South with some very big names, that have established themselves. There's no question what you did in the South was obviously, impressive. No question.
And now the true test for me is, like I said, I haven't had a hardcore style match that I can remember in about a year and a half. And it got me to remind myself that, sometimes it's better to go to those dark places. Because the dark places inside someone's mind, I call it the abyss. A lot of people will know what I'm talking about with that. The abyss is the place in your mind that you as a person create that is supposed to help you understand.
It looks like you're in the abyss right now. Are you in the abyss right now? It looks like you're literally in an abyss. And is this the Sinner Studio, official Sinner Studio here?
This is the temporary Anthony Steele
Sinner Studio here. Obviously, you're in front of a Sinner Studio audience here. I mean, Zilla's obviously Team Sinner all the way. And, obviously it's got you pumped up. You're ready to go. And this is a match. We're going to get to it because I want to show the audience the match you had with Mr. Nets. But, it's a match a lot of people. This is a big match. We think about matches in 2024 this year and maybe even in this decade. You and Omen Black Part 2. That's going to be a match a lot of people are going to be really excited to see. I think it's one I can't wait to watch. And I know we're going to talk a lot about it throughout this week because Wednesday, you're back here with Mr. Black. And I'm sure Mr. Black's in the chat. I'm sure some of your brethren in the Sinners are here. And, it's going to be a match that your career may never be the same. You may be in a dark place, you may be in the abyss, but Omen Black lives in that. You wanted the lights to be turned out, but Mr. Black doesn't really just turn the lights out.
See, the question that I want to ask Omen, and I'll elaborate when I say this because I know it's going to confuse some of the weak-minded people here. Um,
I say,
Omen, what do you fully understand what goes through a man's head when he has nothing to lose? And the way I'm going to elaborate this is yes, my United States Championship is on the line, but I'm not worried about losing that. I'm not
no,
worried. I'm not worried about you becoming the new IMF United States champion. What I'm worried about is beating you so bad in front of your people in Iowa that the fans are not going to understand who Omen Black is anymore. Because you've been showing again this dominant force, but lately you haven't seen it. Lately, I've been seeing that it takes a group of people to help you get a victory. And even last show, a Highway to Hell, the main event, it was you, Soldier, Isaiah Rage, and Ox McCoy for that hardcore championship. And even when you had one of your boys beside you and you had two centers across from you, one now a former center, you couldn't get the job done.
well, we're
That's
gonna find
where,
out. We're gonna find out. I mean, we're gonna find out, and obviously, this is the poster here, and obviously, you'll certainly get a chance to watch the show here coming up this Saturday. It'll be this Saturday coming up here, Dirty Deeds Palo Community Center. But before we watch this match that you and Mr. Nets had, and I'm sure Mr. Black will be a topic here further, and I wanted to ask you something. And again, I know you're obviously focused on being in the abyss and focused on sinner's business and whatever else you want to say, but there's been a thing that's been popping up here these past, I don't know, several weeks. Could be more, could be less, but a nameless one. And Anthony, I was wondering for the audience. I mean, do you have any ideas? Does it concern you? Because it's come up a lot here on Sportswire. Not even in IMF shows. This is an IMF show Wednesday. I'm sure it'll come up, but even in non-IMF shows, I have different people that come on in different places, and this nameless individual certainly pops up. And I know obviously you're in the abyss right now. And I'm pretty sure you're not the nameless one because your name is Anthony Steele, and everybody knows your name. I mean, your name, people definitely remember, whether they like it or not. They remember your name, and I'm sure I'll let people decide and how they feel about you. But you have any ideas? I mean, because again, Steele, a rattlesnake sheds his skin just to reveal another monster within. A leaf changes its color before it dies. Fall is still going on, and which one will you be when he returns to IMF? Now, I mean, do you have any ideas on that? I mean, but I'm
look,
pretty sure you wouldn't be the nameless one.
look, I'm gonna say this. Nameless one. Um, you're right. You're right. And I feel like that's what's happening to me. Is I'm shedding my skin of I was the person that wanted to help so many individuals and guide them to where they can make their dreams a reality. Because I wanted the same thing. But it seems like a lot of people take kindness for weakness. And I ain't got time to be weak.
But you don't seem to be a kind person, though. Most people wouldn't confuse Anthony Steele and
Because
kind in the same sentence.
the,
That's
the, the season, I'm kind until you show me a reason not to.
well, you've
And
certainly not been so kind in the circuit. I mean, most people, I'm sure, would have opinions on that. But who do you think? Do you have any ideas on who it could be potentially, or I mean, we know it's obviously IMF related. I mean, I would imagine obviously it's not James Taylor because he has a name and you have a history with him, but he has a
I
name.
mean, it says when it returns to IMF, so James Taylor's never stepped foot in there, so it
I had
definitely
to
can't
throw
be
that
James
out there.
Taylor.
I know I got that, but I mean, you know,
Um, do I have an idea who it could
it's
be?
not you. You
No,
got a name. I mean, it's not you.
no, no, but I hope I go face to face with that man.
Why? Why would you want to go face to face? Wouldn't you just want to get out of the way and stay in
Nah,
your abyss? You're in the sold
because
out crowds in the Palo Community Center. You want to focus on those
see,
things.
because when I go face to face with this man, one or two things will have the possibility of occurring, and that is we either get on the same wavelength or we pick a fight,
But you like
and
picking
that's
fights. But you
and
like to
that's
fight.
that's exactly. But sometimes I've realized this. Sometimes the unlikeliest of duos make the greatest partnerships. And I feel like this nameless one, we might make a great team.
But you seem so subdued tonight. You seem, I don't want to say methodical like Judas was, but I mean, usually you're boastful and, but you're talking about abysses tonight. You're talking about the fans. You're talking about I mean, this is just a different Anthony Steele. Have you maybe matured a little bit? Is this a more mature Anthony Steele or
Now
no?
this
You
is a
talked
place
about
that
money. You talked about business. I mean, you talked
this
about a lot of different things that you usually don't talk about.
this is a place that I used to go to a lot.
Mhm.
And you know, I've realized that sometimes sometimes getting in your head could be the brightest idea anyone's ever thought of.
Well, brightest, I'm not going there. You said bright.
And
We're not going there. We're not
no,
going to do
no,
that.
not talking about that. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
it, some people need to really think. And that's what Anthony Steele's been doing since Highway to Hell, since Omen Black came out. And the challenge was made, the challenge being accepted, and it's been put from pen to paper. Omen Black, this ain't a fight.
No?
This is a war. Because when you want to say, you want to kill me, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to kill Anthony Steele. It's going to take, as James Taylor. As James Taylor, it's a lot to take me down. And Omen Black, come Saturday, come November 16th, I hope you're ready to go to war
But it's
inside that ring.
it's 1-0 Omen Black. So Omen Black's not too worried about. I mean, we're going to talk about that. I want to show the match with you and Nets. I do want to do that, but this nameless one again seems to be continuing the conversation. All will be answered soon in 40 days. 40 days. I mean,
40
that
days.
would be less than 6 weeks from now.
See, let's tally that real quick. You know,
Tell you that. Yeah, that would be a
and,
Saturday. Today's a Monday, Anthony.
so it sounds like Winter Clash.
Well, you didn't let the nameless one finish the comment, but thank you for finishing that comment. But obviously, Steele, we have two unholy words for you in IMF: Winter Clash. Take your glasses off here, but that's unlike you. Do you want Nolan Running McDermott to do the same thing when he comes back on the show? Should he keep the glasses on?
I don't care what that dude does. Name this one. Winter Clash.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
You're going to be there?
I'll be there. Make it a mission to meet me face to face.
You sure you want that, though? It's a nameless one. That could be anything from going into the
I
IMF.
want meet me face to face.
Be careful what you wish for, Anthony. Be very careful what you wish for.
I make a lot of wishes, and a lot of wishes come true. That's why this is the Make a Wish Foundation.
Anthony, Anthony, I really, I want to put you match up with Nets because I want to watch the match. I want to talk about it with you. But, I would just say tread very lightly because you just don't know. You got to be careful what you wish for here, and we have history, Anthony. I ran your division in other places.
You have a history with me?
Yeah, history with you.
Look, it'll be all right. You could run divisions in other places that I've been. So maybe we are a lot alike, man. Because in order to run those the way that it need to be ran, seems like two minds think alike. And it was hard, but it was easy at the same time. And you know what's going to be easier? The
What?
nameless one.
You just seem so quiet tonight, Anthony.
And
You is this bothering you a
no,
little bit? I mean,
no, it's not bothering me.
no.
The easiest thing to do is at Winter Clash, meet me in that ring. It's the easiest thing to do.
Would you just want to have a chat? Would you want to introduce yourself? What would you do?
I mean, no one can know what's gonna happen. I mean, I'm unpredictable. Obviously, this guy's unpredictable, and I like it.
Maybe you've met your match.
Maybe
I don't mean that. I mean in terms of somebody
maybe
like. Yeah, go ahead.
maybe I've met my equal, my counterpart. So, Winter Clash, whoever you are, I'll see you there.
I mean, there are people that are saying
fun.
things. I'm going to hold off on the chat in what they may think, because I do want to put the match on here. I know people have a lot of obviously guesses, but you could always change your mind. It's always good to change your mind sometimes.
I ain't changing my mind. Winter Clash, meet me in that ring.
You could be humble. I mean, listen, I had Brad Coleman on from the UK, who was the UK version of you, basically. And all of a sudden, he's become born again, practically. You can be humble. We had Joe Starr on Saturday night. He's very humble. If you want to be humble and not meet this nameless one, I mean, could be a good idea.
Hey, if there's one thing any man will learn, is the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself. And I don't fear any.
That was John F. Kennedy, by the way, who said that, by the way, former President Kennedy. Actually, I did work for a Kennedy, by the way, believe it or not. Believe it or not.
It would not surprise me.
Not that one. Well, Robert F. Kennedy I did work for once upon a time. Yes, Robert
but no. Nameless one. You set the date. Trust me, we'll run into each other.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to let the nameless one for now. We're going to push it to the side because I want to put up the match that you had at Highway to Hell against Jordan Nets in a rematch that you gentlemen had once upon a time. So let me do that here. Before I do that, if you are here, please go support our friends over at the IMF. We're going to be here coming up this Wednesday. We're going to be here probably about 9:30 or so, 9 or 9:30. Around the same time Anthony is here. So you definitely want to check that out here. So we're going to put this match up here shortly. So we have it queued up. So Anthony, I'm going to just hold you off for a quick second. We're going to go like this, going to go like that, and I'm going to go boom and boom. Okay. I think now we have it queued up. And sorry, we have to watch the ads, Anthony. Obviously, it helps you guys, stay in business. No, I'm only kidding. But we have an ad here. We'll go like this and take the ad off. We let the ad play, and then we'll get a chance to watch your match with Mr. Nets. Have you watched this match yet, by the way?
What, me and Jordan Nets?
Yep. Have you watched the match that you've had since Highway?
I always watch my matches.
You do? Okay. Well, we're going to watch
what I did wrong and see what I did right.
Well, we're going to find out what you did here coming up very shortly, but we see it now. It's ring time and big crowd here. Once again, sold out crowd in the Palo Community Center. IMF shows have been killing it recently. I have no doubt that this Saturday will be another one. I'm actually also, again, donating a ticket to allow somebody to go out and watch the show coming up here. And here's Jordan Nets, the GOAT. And he's got some glasses. He was under the weather, but he's pinch hitting here and still giving it his all. And he's ready to go.
I want to say ready to go. I feel like he's ready to take an ass whooping, but
there's people here that may not have watched it, so we can't say definitively if that's happened. I mean, there are still some people that may not have seen it yet.
I mean, If they haven't watched it, go check it out on the IMF.
We're actually
IMF
watching it now,
Super
Anthony.
Train.
We're watching it now, Anthony.
Hey, if y'all want to see it bigger in a bigger screen, if you want to slow it
They
down,
have it here in the bigger screen. We're in prime time. I mean,
if you want to slow it down a little bit, because on YouTube you can slow the video down. Do what
well,
you
if
got to
I
do.
slow it down here, we have people that I'm sure want to talk to you. I think they can see the match, Anthony. But thank you for, at least allowing us to consider that. But we do want to thank the IMF for the opportunity to show the footage. And here you are. You're coming out here and some smoke, some definitely a different entrance than the one you had back the first time we saw you wrestle in your return to the IMF against Sean Jovi. And you've come out here with your usual Jordans. You've got the 23 number and certainly a big deal in Illinois. And you've come out here mouthing off to the crowd. And why not just come out there and greet Mr. Nets in the eye and just go out there and give him a good match and maybe shake hands? Or that's not your style?
Because that's not what I want to do. What I wanted to do is what I'm doing right there, showing Dirty Donnie what a champion looks like, what his champion.
Well, Dirty knows it's 4 up, 4 down. Dirty's had some many champions in the IMF. I mean, you saying he wouldn't know what a champion looks like? Oh, no?
Not unlike Anthony Steele.
You don't seem to like Dirty very much.
Dirty's got a little dirty mouth, and he's lucky that he opted out of having a match with me at Highway to Hell.
Well, you know what? He's not an active in-ring. Well, he's not an active in-ring competitor anymore. He wants to, obviously, give other people an opportunity.
It just so happens that the one match that he's about to have with me, he retires. Okay, Dirty.
Well, Hillbilly Tilly did the same thing when CJ Black was looking for a match, and sometimes it happened. Maybe he wants to focus on helping the IMF continue to grow, which is a company you work for. And by the way, what a great ring introduction man here. I mean, he is just an unbelievable man. I mean, maybe he should take over for Michael Buffer when he croaks in like 20 years. You think?
Oh yeah.
What is his name, by the way? What is his name?
Oh, I don't know.
To quote Ozzy, "Don't ask me, I don't know." But okay, well, you know what? He's not the nameless one because he does a great job introducing you and Jordan Nets. But you're here, and it's match time, and it's go time.
Oh yeah.
How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Supporting the pink joggers for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I do have some form of feelings and love for some things. But the only thing that's going through my head right now is putting away Jordan Nets and showing him that he's not on my level, as he just saw right there. He's quick, and I learned that about him. He's a quick little guy.
Well, you mentioned last time you were here, he's basically some version of you, but I think a version unlike Mr. McDermott because he's proven himself in the ring. He's been a world champion, and he's obviously held the tag team championships for a long time in the IMF, and he's a guy that's definitely come a long way, and he's been doing the work.
Oh, yeah. See, like I said, it was not a disrespect thing to Jordan Nets. It was a showing him that it takes time to get where I'm at. And he doesn't have much time as I do in this industry. But he'll get there. And once he does, maybe, just maybe, he can defeat anything.
Well, interesting setup for him to rather also go and kind of wait outside and talk to the crowd. But what a drop kick there. I mean, just very enziguri. I'm sorry. What an enziguri there. Just really impressive that he was able to get up there. And but you're not having it.
Oh, no. See, he, at that point, it just angered me. It pissed me off that he thought that kicking me in my mouth was going to be a way to, get the upper hand.
Well, he was doing what some people might want to, because there's people that, you're Anthony Steele. There's some people that aren't fans. I mean, maybe he wasn't a fan.
I mean, like I said, he don't have to be a fan. He just has to respect what I'm capable of in that ring. And then he feels what I'm capable of right there.
Well, he's feeling it right now because that chop definitely hurt. There's no question that definitely hurted Anthony. And you're definitely working him. And yeah, he's feeling that. Maybe he should have worn a different ring attire so he wouldn't have felt it as much.
Hey, look, no matter what, you're going to feel those chops. And Jordan found out firsthand that
now that was That was a stiff elbow there. That definitely looked. That uppercut elbow hurt. And there you go with your own version of a kick. That was your own version of a drop
Oh
kick
yeah.
hands again.
See, my thing is like I incorporate a lot of different things so that way no one really knows, what's gonna happen in said time. And because I'm a big guy, and when someone looks at a big guy, they don't think of them doing an enziguri, or they don't think of them doing top rope moves. They think that all they're just gonna do is slam, slam, slam. No, I inherit kicks, I inherit punches,
Yeah, you
headbutts.
wouldn't be coming out to the
Enziguri.
Onyx song "Slam." Slam, do do do, let the boys be boys. Slam. You're definitely not going to be doing that. But Jordan Nets right now is coming back,
Oh,
and he gave you
yes,
a stiff
stiff
punch there.
elbow,
The stiff
stiff
elbow
elbow.
punch that hurt you there. That was a stiff upper lip there. You got to quote ACDC, another ACDC reference for you. I don't think he's going to be a ball breaker for you, and definitely like a flick of the switch, he's coming here and gives you a cannonball. And definitely, you're going to be feeling that as much as let's just say Hell's Bells. And let's just say you shook Anthony Steele up all night long with that.
I wouldn't say
But
all night, just for the moment.
well, okay. Well, you know what? Right now,
But
Mr. Nets has got the momentum, and he does get a 2 count, and he's definitely working. He's working here and giving himself an opportunity to give him a shot to take the U.S. championship. We're watching here the historic IMF Highway to Hell show, and one of those matches was for the United States Championship that involves Anthony Steele, the most controversial figure in backyard, underground, and independent wrestling history, the reigning, defending IMF United States champion against one, I guess, third now of the IMF Tag Team Champions, Jordan Nets, the GOAT, former world champion also. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. And I'm here tomorrow also with the Brooklyn Prodigies, who've wrestled alongside Jimmy Controversy. They've also been in the ring with the likes of Gang Rail, Sabu, and many others. And we'll certainly talk about that with them tomorrow. But right here, we're watching Anthony Steele versus Jordan Nets. And Anthony, you picked him up here like a sack of potatoes, and you give him almost your own version of a jackhammer.
oh yeah, see, the one thing I told you, he's quick, he's fast,
Yes.
he's agile,
Yes.
but sometimes that kills it. That kills it too much. Because when you face a big guy, I'm not saying I don't do slams. I don't do, you know, big guy stuff. And you can all they always say you can only go to the top rope so many times before you get caught. And he got caught, and it didn't really end well for him at that point in time.
Well, that's
And
his advantage against you. He's going to try to wear you down. He's going to use his agility. He's going to try to use his quickness, his ability to work the top rope to try to get you down and add another championship to his collection.
I mean, keyword tried,
People do try. People definitely try. And he
but
does an interesting strategy there. That's definitely going to hurt just a bit. But
oh
you
yeah,
do find a way to miss it. And there you go. There's your patented move. And but obviously you
turned
both
him
are
inside
down.
out.
There's your referee that's looking there rather, I suppose, with the count. Let's just say that. But obviously, you know this guy, by the way, this referee. You know him or no? You didn't know him before this?
Oh yeah.
Have you had much
I mean,
experience?
I know.
You know, yeah,
He's
he looks familiar from Summer Bash, and looks
he's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend
good
of mine.
friend. Oh, you have friends. I didn't realize you had so many there in the IMF, but you
Oh, I
have one
mean,
there.
but I mean, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. So obviously, I'm gonna have
Ah, I
fun.
see. An enemy.
And me and him, we chat about how much we hate the foundation. So I mean, it works out in our you know corners basically.
But he's quick. I tell you what, Jordan Nets, he's grown a lot. He's grown a lot. And right now he's got you right where he wants him. And yes, I guess you're starstruck there from what Jordan Nets did to you.
1, 2.
Almost. He thought he had you there. He thought he had you.
See,
Did you think that he had you?
I mean, look, I'll say that kind of rattled my brain a little bit, that elbow to the back of the head. But at the same time, my body's built different than his. See,
Ah,
he's
well, I
talking
would
about
think.
He's
I
talking
would
about
definitely.
strong for no reason. Strong for no reason. Well, I'm strong for a reason because obviously that didn't put me out, but he's put multiple people out with it.
Mm.
So, you know, when I say I'm built different, it's because I really am built different. Like I can endure a lot more pain than a lot of other individuals in the IMF. And he went
Well,
up
you
again.
just are about to do this to him here, and that's gonna definitely hurt. That's gonna leave a
Oh
mark.
yeah.
Gonna leave a mark. Gonna really leave a mark now.
One, two, but how
Why
good
did you
was
do?
it, man?
I guessed earlier today, Hybrid did the same thing. I mean, why? Why not just take the 3 count and win the match and just you slapping
I
him
wanted to
around?
prove a point. I wanted to prove a point.
But what'd he do to
But
you, Jordan
the
Nets?
point is because of the general manager who's a foundation member, he got put in this match. And now I set my eyes to the one dude that I
That
want
was a
from the
black hole
foundation.
slam, man. That's unfair. I mean, it's just one,
One,
two.
two, three. And see, that's the thing is that was a message. And obviously, Omen Black got my message
Did he?
because what transpires after this match is what's leading
Oh, we're gonna
to
get to that.
Saturday.
We're gonna definitely get to that. But I just think you had him with the choke slam, and you needed to do another move for what? For what? For what reason? What purpose?
To prove the point
Jordan Nets
that
didn't
at
deserve
this
that.
at this
Jordan
point
Nets,
I'm here to hurt people. If you
that
don't
was
mind
petty.
turning the sound on, that way people can hear
Do
what I
we have
gotta say.
profanity here again in this? Because we really don't want to play profanity.
Eh, not really
Uh,
much.
well, what else is new on this platform?
I told you, I would take the foundation out, one by one. And you handed me Sean Tony, your weakest link of them all. And look what happened. Your United States champion
Some would
is
say,
no
though,
longer the
controversially,
president of
the middle name.
Hustler. It's the
Uh,
real fucking real.
I mean,
And then,
the crowd loved it. The crowd knew that I was the
Not
champ, so
so
that's all that
fast,
matters.
though. Not yet.
supposed to be you. And you want to be a pussy and retire. You wanted to act like your general manager spot made forward. So then you simply turn next. You say, I don't care about your damn mind. You know what? You can shut that mind. So you're doing something you can ask.
That's a
He wanted to
strong
fight.
word there.
And look
Very
what you did.
He wanted to
Once
fight.
you
I
turn
don't.
next, you couldn't get the job done. So, next month, I'll talk about it.
No! This is what you wanted to start here. I gotta turn the volume down for the music. Yeah, okay. Oh. Okay, play it back.
Hey guys, this is pretty funny. This is pretty funny. Because over a year and a half ago, a year and a half ago, maybe, I was not playing that piece of shit right there.
That's
Answer
not nice.
here,
He's a
answer
boogeyman.
here.
You don't want to say that about him. He's a boogeyman.
I don't care. I say what I want. I do what I want.
He's a big man. The fans aren't cheering anymore. Turn them
Oh
off.
no.
They seem interested. See, you wanted this because fans bring your own weapons.
Oh yeah. Oh
Owen's
yeah.
got loads of fans. He's got hundreds.
And I'm gonna use them to my advantage. I'm gonna use them to my advantage. Because with all of his fans, with all the fans that
He's got a lot
wants to
of them.
see him annihilate me, wants to see him hurt me, wants to see him kill me.
Mhm.
See, what those fans don't understand is them bringing the weapons is bringing the weapons to me too. It's not just Omen Black that's going to be out grabbing those things from the crowd.
But he's got the
I,
numbers.
Center's got numbers too.
But the fans bring the weapons, and Omen's got more fans than you and Palo. You admitted that
I
yourself.
mean, I understand that he's got fans,
This is not like when you were in the
but the
South where maybe the numbers were even and maybe you had the advantage. He's got the significant advantage here.
but is the fans in the match? Is the fans in the company? No, they're
But they
fans.
can bring the weapons to help him.
But they can also bring the weapons that could be his ultimate demise. That's
No, but he's
bull.
the. You said it yourself. You haven't been in a hardcore match in over a year. Omen
I
Black
mean,
does hardcore matches like people get up for breakfast.
and that's true. But I trained my body a long time ago to withstand pain.
Then you mentioned it's not like
Fighting.
wrestling Gabe Taylor, it's not wrestling even Gabe Sayers. You got the different Gabe Sayers. You didn't get the Gabe Sayers in the South that was wrestling with Mikey Anarchy and Jimmy Controversy and all those other names out there in other places.
I mean, but I showed him same thing. I can take a beating and keep getting up. I showed James the same thing. I could take a beating and still get up. I can be bleeding profusely and still get up. Ask DJ Walbert what happens. That's actually going to be saying, that is the last hardcore match that I can remember of me
That's 2
having.
years, though, Anthony. That's 2+ years.
So, and in 2+ years, what's a better way to show that I can endure the most pain I've ever done in my entire life than to face Omen Black and beat him at his own game?
Anthony, I know you've always got a plan. You're certainly the most controversial figure in history. You've always got something to say, but this time, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I hope that'll be a great match. I can't wait to talk about it this Wednesday. I can't wait for people to watch it. I'm excited about that. I think I will say this, though. You have more of a chance than Jordan Nets does against Ox McCoy. I think I'll give you that much.
Yeah, the Ox is going to kill him, and I'm going to let Ox do what.
And they have history, too. And Ox, let's just say he's going to certainly he's going to make him, let's just say, have some, let's say, paper cuts, to quote Linkin Park. We can say paper cuts. Can Ox give him some paper cuts? Hey, remember, it's not blood, it's paper cuts.
Hey, look.
That qualifies, right?
I hope Ox opens Jordan Ness' mouth, pulls out his tongue, and slices it with a piece of paper.
I don't think that would be allowed, but paper cuts he can certainly do, and it could definitely be death by 1,000 paper cuts. But in the meantime, if you are here, and I'm going to get to something else I want to ask you in a few minutes, I got to get to the chat. A lot of people want to talk to you. I'm going to get to certain comments, so let's move on here. This is the IMF YouTube channel. Go hit the sub button for them. They have close to 2,500 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate that if you support them. And they're going to be here Wednesday night with your favorite IMF stars up and down the card of Dirty Deeds, and Anthony Steele will be one of those names. Let's take this off the screen. We'll go like this. Zilla has been fired up for this one. Zilla would like to say hello. Yes, we're back once again, and you have that champion. Omen Black is bored already. It is his show after all. This is a while ago, though. We have a lot of comments since. People were waiting a while. Ox McCoy, the IMF Hardcore Champion, your fellow sinner, would like to say hello. Zilla is very happy to see Sinners. Speaking about Sinners, you think this guy will be there? You don't know.
Oh, he'll be there.
He'll be there Saturday? He'll be there.
And he's going to congratulate me for beating Omen Black. See,
but Isaiah Rage won't congratulate you, right?
I don't care about Isaiah Rage. Isaiah Rage got what he deserved.
I thought you guys were friends. It gave me the thumbs up there, so I guess not.
See, Isaiah Rage thought that he can pull a fast one on the Centers, but we showed him real quick that the Centers always got the upper hand.
Well, certainly Isaiah Rage definitely felt the rage. Yes, hello there to Justin Parsley. Hello there to the Sinners and the Real Deals. Okay, we'll certainly get to this. Nolan Money McDermott is here. We're going to get to him, and he's here. He's arrived. Maybe some would say that's the real Anthony Steele. Nah. No. James Taylor's in the house. James has got to be here. The ROEW owner, the legendary nemesis, Bad Boy.
Bad boy.
He called you little boy.
See, coming from the dude that's way smaller than me is down 2-1.
Now,
all right.
Mr. Black would like to say, quit blowing smoke at us. It smells like Illinois' trash water. Is your water
It,
that bad?
hey, listen, you can trash what happens in my home state, but come Saturday night, I'm black. I'm gonna have your state believe in Anthony Steele when I whoop your fucking candy ass.
Well, you know what? We're gonna certainly find out, and we'll have to definitely find out. And Zilla's still team centers, and she's also team Young Guns. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna definitely get to that. Hello there to Nolan Money McDermott. He's in the chat. He also would like to say he is a way bigger of a deal than the real deal, Anthony Steele. He made a big name for himself yesterday with him and Judas, the Evil Angel.
Hey, listen, come fight me and see if you're a bigger deal than me.
Well, I think he's focusing on basically planning. He's focusing on plotting, preparing. He's building a team. I don't know if you're going to be on the team. Do you want to be on the team?
Fuck no.
But you want to be on the Sinners.
I'm not on the Sinners.
But don't you want to be with the Young Guns?
Nah.
Okay, moving on. Hello there to Nolan Money McDermott. And she supports Nolan Money McDermott. And there's one more here. Oh, also, Ox McCoy would like to say, just like the foundation, ACDC sucks. So let's just say Ox McCoy is definitely not coming out to Hell's Bells anytime soon. And definitely, let's just say he won't be coming out to Money Talks. He won't be coming out to, let's just say, You Shook Me All Night Long, or You Can't Kill rock and roll. Rock and roll ain't noise pollution. There you go. But thank you very much. We'll move on from the ACDC references and go to Anthony Steele references. Ox, you can't even spell ACDC. Did he spell it? Let me see. He did. He spelled it. What are we missing? Let's move on.
Omen just blowing smoke out of his ass.
I want to say hello to my friend, Mr. RTG. He is the general manager of our friends in the great state of Oregon in BTW, because RTG is going to be in your chair 2 weeks from tonight. And I'm looking forward to that. He has been on an impressive run in his own right. He has been doing a heck of a job in BTW, and many friends of the show have been here. Comatose, Jacob Frost, RJS, Steven Swift, and RTG himself, and a slew of other great stars. And I'm looking forward to their show, November to Remember, which is at the end of the month. Very excited about that. Back off my best friend, AI. It works so well. Do you use AI for typing, Anthony, or nah?
Nah.
No, the real deal. So what you mean, 99% off? We'll just move on. I don't know what you mean by that, but she bows down to you and she supports you no matter if you're a heel or a babyface. Steele, that's a good point though by Omen. I'm a different animal than the one you met 20 months ago. And that's true, because look at where he's been.
And so am I.
But he might have traveled more than you have in the last 20 months.
Hey, listen. That just means that he wants to be like a carny. He wants to travel all over to show everybody everything. All I needed to do is make my name known in 1 to 2 companies and stick with it. That's what I'm doing with IMF. Is I'm making my name known inside IMF and I'm sticking with it. That's why I'm the champion.
You showed up to a premier company. That I will give you. You were here in a premier company and they're doing a great job with a lot of fans. Someone would like to say hello to you. Hello. Let's go. Hello. James Taylor says hello. Hello to Omen Black. We have a lot of hello. I think the mic has been fixed a little bit. I think we did fix that. I think. Nameless one went to Where is the Moneymaker? I don't know. Do you have a moneymaker? Let's move on. I'm not the greatest man to ever live, or the nameless one. So Zilla just wants to let us all know it's not Zilla. And I did ask that question. That's a good point. I'm going to move away from that comment. James thinks he knows who it is. He says the words NGJPW. That ring a bell at all?
That rings a big bell. Funny thing is, right now I'm like 6 blocks away from the last known location of NGJPW.
Oh, so are you showing up there waiting for anticipation for the return?
See, now we all went our separate ways.
Yes.
My boy Division Nick's doing his thing. I'm doing mine, and some of the other boys kind of like fell off or quit. So
that's how it goes. Obviously we wish Division Nick well, and we wish the rest of the gang well, and we hope that they're enjoying whatever they might be doing. We appreciate this very much. We'll have to see. The nameless one said it is 2 people coming back to the IMF. Good question. We are many. We are him. We are together. So they're many and any and many. It's no, Ronnie Brady wasn't in the IMF. That I can confirm that he wasn't in the IMF. So wouldn't be him. But hey, listen, but that would definitely not be
I mean,
him.
I don't get why people are saying NJPW when no other member has been inside the doors of IMF that has been in
Well, Ronnie
NJPW.
Brady would be a name I think a lot of people would like to see in the IMF, but he hasn't been in the IMF, so that would mathematically rule him out on this one.
I wouldn't like it. That
Well, I
locker room would
understand.
tear him up. That
Well,
locker room would
I'm
tear
gonna
him
move
up.
on. I'm gonna respectfully move on from that, and let's get to some more comments. How about that? That sound fair?
Let's go.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on there because I certainly want to move on. It's Division Nick.
No.
I see it a mile away. But he's saying you're saying no.
Okay, James. Obviously, your age doesn't come with wisdom. Because it says they've been inside the doors of IMF. No other NGJPW member ever has stepped foot inside IMF except Anthony Steele. So obviously, you're dumb.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? That's Mr. Taylor's opinion. Speaking of people that are going to be here coming up on November the 23rd, the YBW champion Dominic is in the house from the great state of Pennsylvania. He would like to say hello.
oh, yeah. Hello.
Have you guys met before?
Nope.
You never know. Maybe he could be somebody you'd meet. Doing good. Appreciate
Come one, come all.
Yep. Dominic's here again. Zilla, look up who NGJPW is. That's where Anthony started. You'll understand who it is. Okay, we'll move on. I see a lot of the same comments. Let's see. Let's go on to some other ones here. Okay. Thank you, Zilla, for confirming. It's the Sinners referee Smokey. Is it the Sinners referee Smokey?
Smokey, if it's you, I've met you multiple times. So
That would be. Well, do you think it would be Smokey? Did you guys not give him enough money?
Oh, I gave him enough money. At Highway to Hell. So
Sure.
yeah, I'm 100%. I gave him that dude over $200 at Highway to Hell to do business for the
A lot of money. Big high roll over there. Anthony Steele, you got the green emoji here from James Taylor. The green.
Oh.
Let's go to more comments.
I can give you two.
We'll move on. Drake Goldragon's in the house. How you doing?
What up, Drake? What up, Drake? The Resurrection World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
The dude that I've beaten. So, I mean.
That's a company you did work in a couple times, but Mr. Goldragon is here, and I would like to honor Mr. Goldragon by saying hello to him and appreciating him being in here. We have people from different places, and we want to give them an opportunity. Somebody would like to say that they live an hour away from you. Okay, that's good. I suppose. I guess they'll be there. Okay, we got this here. She's rooting for the real deal Anthony Steele against Omen Black.
See, I got some answers.
But Mr. Black's got some more comments. Let me come back to Mr. Black. It is his show after all, and he's allowed you to be here tonight. You're stepping into my house still, and he's not talking about here. He's talking about Saturday. I am the landlord of hardcore wrestling in Iowa, the Midwest backyard underground in all of wrestling. I am the landlord. You haven't been a tenant in a long time. You're nothing more than a squatter. Wait a minute. That's some strong words there. Why would he call you a squatter for? That's not nice.
I mean, because you're right, Omen. You're right. I haven't been in this realm of wrestling in a long time. But it doesn't mean I haven't done it. Just because I don't sit here and bleed all the time doesn't mean that I can't bleed.
I don't think you'll have to. Well, the good thing is for you, I don't think you'll have to bleed this Saturday.
I mean,
unless you got some ketchup packets. Maybe you could bring some ketchup packets.
But Omen, I said it once earlier. I'm gonna say it again. When a man that has nothing to lose steps in a ring with another man that has nothing left to lose, the outcome is even. Because when I step in that ring Saturday, I'll come into your house and I'm gonna tear that bitch up. But I'm gonna be the one walking out of that front door.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna definitely find out. I mean, we'll have to say, have cool will travel. I am gonna tell the fans that you are nothing but a homeless Danny from Greece.
Greece. Oh, I mean, homeless, dude. I get paid a lot of money to be the IMF United States champion. I mean, so homeless is not on that list.
Okay.
Let that be known.
Okay. All right. Yes, we're very happy to have Dominic here. Dominic is here on the 23rd. He's got a big show coming up on the 24th of November. Very honored to have the champion here. Many champions are here tonight. We have many champions. Of course, Omen Black has famously been a champion. He has been a champion of this platform. James Taylor is a legendary champion. He wants us to watch you and Mr. Black, but I have some other plans I have to get to actually tonight. So we're going to actually have to ask you something else IMF related. So I'm going to say that's a possibility on a different show, but just copying everything I've done. A U.S. champ, yep. Omen Black for you. Well, I'm the hardcore champion, and I ain't paying rent. Omen, how do you like them apples?
See, here's the thing. The one thing that I've noticed is the Sinners has the United States Championship and the Hardcore Championship, and all the foundation has is the world title.
But the world title is a big deal.
I mean, yeah. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened to Mephisto?
I did.
He got taken out by Prince Steele.
A man you certainly
not a great start for his world championship reign. So,
well, I mean, he started it before, but he's gonna obviously try to continue it. I mean, finish what you started.
See, the difference is no one's came and attacked me. So no one's taking me out.
Well, you've only been here 2 shows. I mean, you have to stay for a while. Maybe you find out.
I mean, it took him 1 show after winning the world title to have someone to come and attack him.
He's got a lot of people that want a certainly piece of him. That's all. Ox always has to be dead. You can be evicted. You bald SOB toward Mr. McCoy. Okay. Vega Storm is in the house. Vega Storm, I don't know if you've met Vega before, but Vega is a protege of Copper Dragon. He's been around GWC Intensity. He'd like to say hello. And hello to you. Good man, Mr. Dragon. Has Mr. Dragon reviewed one of your matches again? Remind me. I think he did, right? Did he not? Or did he not?
He did, right? He reviewed a couple of them.
All right. So maybe we'll review this one between you and Omen coming up. How does that sound?
Oh, let's go.
We'll definitely make sure it happens. That's right. Well, we're going to not mention those names. We're going to move on here. Steele doesn't believe the stuff that comes out of his own mouth. That is Soldier GP, a man you've also got plenty of history with. The popular.
How do I not believe what's coming out of my mouth when I'm the one speaking it? So I mean,
but that's his belief. He believes that he's entitled to his opinion.
Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
But Soldier, though, has been a man at the top of this circuit. He knows he could maybe have a good sense of judgment or character. You have everything to lose. That's where you're wrong. If you lose this Saturday, but what if you lose this Saturday? What is the future of Anthony Steele in the IMF? Does it mean you go back to the drawing board? Does it maybe mean an NGJPW reunion? Does it mean maybe you do call Nolan Money McDermott? What does that mean? If there is a possibility that you lose this Saturday, would that mean you have to go elsewhere?
No? If I can't beat Omen Black this Saturday,
yeah,
then I'm just gonna have to try again. I'm not gonna give up. I don't think
then if you lose Saturday, that means you would have to maybe reevaluate your future in the IMF and consider maybe going back to NGJPW or maybe
See, I know IMF is my home. IMF is where I'm here to stay. And as long as I have this United States Championship, I'm not going nowhere. Once I lose this United States Championship,
have you thought about
5-6 years from now?
Have you thought about the prospect of losing? Because some people said Vice President. Some people said Vice President Kamala Harris wasn't going to lose either, and and she lost. And you might be a favorite. I mean, certainly Miss Harris was a favorite over former President Donald Trump, and we saw those elections how they went. And I'm not saying that could be the case in this match. But there is always that possibility. You could be favored. Some maybe favor you. I don't know what the betting odds are, but you could be favored. Then all of a sudden, Omen Black comes out on top, and he's reigns supreme, and he's basically the leader and commander of chief of the hardcore wrestling circuit, like he's been.
That was proven false when Ox McCoy won the hardcore title, but that's not what we're talking about.
Now, do you think you'll need election interference or wrestling interference in this match to continue maybe what you've been saying?
Omen, I'm gonna tell you what I want.
All right, tell me what you thought.
What I want is me and you, 1-on-1, no foundation, no center. You keep your boys in the back. I'll keep my boys in the back, and we'll see we'll see what really happens on Saturday.
Well, we got a lot more comments to get through because the people want to talk. I meant Smokey was the Sinner. Oh, Smokey was the Sinners referee. Yes, Smokey was the referee. Smokey the Bear. Do we still see those PSA commercials for Smokey the Bear? That belt is your personality, so that's your entire shtick.
But United States, no, that was Sean Jovi, and I kind of took that away from him.
No, Sean Jovi was America's resident rock star. That was a different.
Yeah, the United States Championship represents America.
But you don't represent America.
I represent myself.
Okay, so would you be anti-American or no?
No, I mean I love my country.
Oh, you do love your country. Would you want to serve?
I love myself.
Now, let me ask you this question. For whatever reason you come up short this Saturday, would you consider serving your country if you love this country so much? Would you want to consider? You are a sinner. Maybe you could, pay for some of those sins in the past by serving our country. Would you want to serve this country should you lose Saturday? You are the United States champion. What better way to? No, that's a. I have a story. It's not funny, but I was a kid. I went to college with. He was in my law class, and he actually decided to go into the United States Army, and then he realized what it was, and he basically tried to kill himself to get out of there. They don't take too kindly to that. Let's just put it that way. But we certainly support all our veterans. It is Veterans Day today. I want to thank all of our veterans out there. My grandfathers were both World War II veterans. My father's cousin was in Vietnam, never came back. And my former employer, unfortunately, United States Congressman Michael Grimm, is paralyzed from the chest down. It's a major topic here in Staten Island and Brooklyn in my home community. So if I could get a moment where everybody just keeps my former employer, Congressman Michael Grimm, in their prayers, and we have an interesting history. Not quite your history you have, Anthony, with Resurrection or the IMF, but definitely want to give him my thoughts and prayers because, a man that threatened to throw a reporter off the balcony now is paralyzed. It's karma, I suppose. But, you would have probably got along with him. But obviously my thoughts and prayers are to my former employer. But it is Veterans Day. God bless America. Dominic thinks you're going to beat Owen Black. From one champion to another, I suppose.
Smart.
Another man, though, not impressed so much. Jason Myers, the Midwest Express. He was not so impressed with Nolan Money McDermott. And
Hey, neither the Sinners or the Foundation have the tag titles.
Yes.
But the only reason why we don't have those tag titles is because I was facing Jordan S for my title, not teaming up with Parsley to take you.
Well, Parsley wasn't there.
I mean, I could have made a phone call. I paid $200. What's another couple hundred going to do? Like, I mean, okay. Make phone calls. That's what you got to do, man. That's what Dirty Donnie did. Get Damian Saint to come.
What if Nolan
back.
Money McDermott wanted to be your tag team partner?
He's not ready.
No,
he's not ready. I'm sorry. I don't want to pick up the slack. I want to equal.
Okay.
And I know standing side by side with Justin Parsley.
But Nolan Money McDermott has also, but he also defeated Sean Jovi.
Not one-on-one. Like
he beat him, but he beat him in a match that had a lot on the line, though.
Okay.
In an elimination match, he beat him, pin to pin.
Yeah. The weakest link of WCE and Foundation. I mean,
I don't know if I would agree with that. I mean, Sean Jovi's a man that's meant a lot to a lot of people. He's beloved. I mean, but when he loses this Saturday, he'll just be like the nameless one. That's a complete nobody.
See, you're saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it's not going to happen. So I guess this Saturday we're just going to have to see it.
But he's in the match. He would obviously have an idea, right? Just like how you ended up being a nobody, every other company you picked up and ran away from. I mean, we're not going to go into the past because you're here in the IMF, and I'm going to,
Hey, Omen. Let's just say this. Was kicked out of all those companies. One company I was the current champion in. And maybe, just maybe, it'll happen again in IMF. Because when I beat your ass this bad this Saturday, they're going to have to kick me out. Because at that point, I'm probably going to have an assault and battery charge. Maybe, just maybe, an attempted murder.
Well, we're not going to go that far. We are definitely not condoning that. We do not want any of that to happen, and contact your local authorities in case that does. Omen Black says you are anti-American. Omen is going to whip this butt this weekend. Speaking of veterans, I want to actually, if I could, say hello to the legendary Backyard Wrestling World Champion, Napalm, who is obviously serving our country also. I want to say thank you for your service, my friend. He's going to be here, coming up here this Saturday as the entire LBYW roster goes into the Hall of Fame alongside everybody else here in the IMF and other places. So I want to thank Napalm for his service, and thank you, and God bless those who fight for our country here. So thank you so much, Napalm, for all you do. 3-time United States champion, merchandise coming soon. Hello there. Yes, thank you. Yes, to Congressman Graham, definitely. He definitely would appreciate that right now, because he's not going to be like Anthony Steele anytime soon. What?
Once I beat Omen Black this Saturday, I think I'm gonna create merch, because then it's gonna be Sinners over Omen Black 2 months in a row, right? Once for the hardcore title, once for the United States Championship. So obviously there ain't gonna be no 3-time United States Championship merch. There's gonna be Sinners over Omen Black, because obviously Omen, you can't figure out a way to win.
Well, we'll find out. And obviously, thank you, Zilla, for your kind words. And yes, we want to thank Napalm. God bless America, and we thank people like him. I always think about my father's cousin who never came back. We had a guy, Ross Galloway, who was on the show for my birthday special and 1,000 subscribers show, and he's served like 15 years or something like that. Let me get to more comments, though. A lot more people here. Okay, and Uric would have had them. Ox, I think he meant to say Ox and Uric could have had them, but they don't. I do think we'll beat them, and the gold's here, and they don't have it, or something like that. I think I'm trying to parcel it together. Big facts. Screw the Sinners. Look, I'm not a tag team guy. Uric and I were thrown together by then Damian Saint, and would the Sinners ever go after the tag team belts? Tyler, I think we just talked about that. Omen has been a world champion in multiple feds, 2-time hardcore champ, 2-time United States champion, and a 3-time world heavyweight champion. What have you done? Left and come back to wrestling over and over and over again and get kicked out everywhere, according to him. And
we're gonna do stats. We're gonna do stats. All right. So Omen, former 3-time world heavyweight champion. Former 4-time All-American Intercontinental champion. 6-time hardcore champion. Let that be known, Mr. 2-time. Former Money in the Bank winner. Former New Age champion. Former WEF Intercontinental champion. Former NLCW First Blood champion. Indie stuff, something you haven't figured out yet. And now the current reigning defending IMF United States champion.
Well, how many? Well, let's just say how many since Omen has started, and how many of you had since then? Let's go on the timeline that Mr. Black's talking about. 2022.
So since 2022.
Let's go with 22. What do you got?
New Age champion.
Another promotion, yes. NLCW First Blood title.
First Blood and IMF United States.
Okay. All right.
So since 2022, I've held a championship.
Omen's got the edge then. Omen's got the edge.
But if you look at it, in 2 years' time, I was the NLCW First Blood champion for about 7-8 months. So, I held on to it.
You're losing the crowd right now. You're losing the crowd. Judas the Evil Angel has even turned on you. Omen is the last guy I'd want to piss off. Napalm, of all people, is saying, Anthony, I hope and pray that Omen Black whoops your butt for America. And he's basically saying for America. They're rooting. America now is rooting for Omen Black. Is that possible? The United States of America is rooting for Omen Black.
Hey, some of the United States was rooting for Kamala Harris, and guess what? That didn't happen either. So it's all right. That's okay. Napalm, I respect you.
You're the current reigning, defending, and forever IMF United States champion. That's
exactly. Partially understand. Like this is not a game. This is not a couple month fucking reign. This is going to be going on for a while. a while, Omen.
I think, but Omen has different plans. He has different ideas.
Different plans and different ideas. See, when you make a plan, it takes an idea to create a plan. And the plan for last month was him winning the hardcore championship. That plan didn't work. His plan this
But he's
Saturday
getting
is
you
to
one-on-one now.
be.
But he's getting you one-on-one in an environment he feels comfortable.
That's fine. Get comfortable. I want you to be comfortable.
Are you going to be comfortable this Saturday?
Oh, 100.
You are
100%.
very comfortable. More comfortable.
I got. Like I'm so comfortable that I'm not even sweating what I'm capable of. Cause see, like I said, I've been there. I've been in those shoes. I've done it before. So it's not like I'm walking into uncharted territory that I've never been in. It's
This
just a
is
different
different
opponent.
IMF though than the one you were in 20 months ago. You do know that it's a very different IMF.
You're correct. But it's also a different Anthony Steele than the one that showed up.
It's a very different Omen Black.
So Omen, that's why I said me, you, no foundation, no sinners. Because at that point in time, on Saturday, November 16th, 2024, in Palo, Iowa, at the Palo Community Center, we're going to see what happens when it's just mano a mano, no rules. The only way to win is by pinfall or submission.
But the fans are getting allowed to bring in those weapons, and Omen's got the advantage in James.
If Anthony wins with riot, you better start rioting. Oh, wait, hold on, my bad. Are you gonna go on your TikTok and riot, James?
Hey, he's almost at 100,000 followers. He's 11,500 away. 11,500 away. You guys are the hellhound. It's intimidating, but just like a pit bull, you look scary, but really just let's just say bad words. What happened at NOCW? Oh, that's right. You left because you just ain't getting the respect you want. I'm not going to go into why you left in NOCW. It was well documented 7 months ago, the whole story at NOCW. But obviously, you're here in the IMF. We're happy you're in the IMF. We wish, obviously, things would have been different there, but you're here in the IMF. That's a good news. It's a very good news. And
Here's the funny thing is, hey, Omen. The same company that I left is the same company that called me to come back. So,
but you're back in the IMF, though. You're not going to LCW. You can't go
I mean,
like, oh, well, happy Veterans Day. Yes, thank you, Zilla, for saving us here. Yes, thank you. God bless America. Careful, Anthony. You're going to get Omen to throw that CPAP mask off, get out of bed, and hop on to get big man. Well, that's obviously some big words there from Oxen. CPAP mask. Do they still use those things? Do people still use the big mask when they go out and stuff? Baby. Fun fact, 11,500 followers away from TikTok. That's really impressive.
Congratulations.
Past accolades, titles, and qualifications don't matter. We're here in the now. Show the strap again, Steele. He wants to see the strap again, Justin Parsley. The PWF champion.
You see this?
Yes. I'll take it on the screen. Yes.
Hey, Omen, I got a question. So you said you're going to beat me for this. That's not happening. You said you were going to win the match last month. That didn't happen. You also said you were going to be the inaugural PWF World Champion. Oh, wait, who has that? Justin Parsley. So, I mean...
But this Saturday could change things, though. This Saturday, he could have the United States Championship again. We don't know yet.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Not gonna happen.
Well, we haven't had the match yet. We don't know what's going to happen. We haven't had the match.
What's going to happen is I'm going to pin Omen Black. I'm going to do. See, I love to play this video game called UFC. And see, when you do the career mode, you get to post on social media, and that's how you like get.
Are you going to be Francis Ngannou? Is that what you're telling me here? You're going to go Francis Ngannou?
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what it does on the game. Is I'm going to predict the fight, and my prediction is that I'm going to pin Omen Black 1, 2, 3.
Well, he's going to be. Listen, he's going to be here. You and him are going to be here Wednesday night, and it's going to be. It's not going to be like UFC. It's going to be where you guys. I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to handle it. Just wait, what's going to happen? And James Taylor said he's your brick wall.
2-1. That's not a very sturdy brick wall.
And also, Napalm said he would love to watch the show and he would just love to be there. And, you never know. We want to give our veterans the opportunity to watch shows, and our friends at LBYW in the great state of North Dakota. Never say never. And anything's possible. He's here Saturday night. Well, you're going to be in the ring. We want to thank Napalm. And, just never say never. Judas, yes, the longest reigning champion. I don't know how Judas got into the chat, but, yes, because he was rooting for Omen Black. I see. I've been in the OnlyFans Bring Weapons match in the IMF, and pretty much I won that. Keep it up, Junior.
Hey, there's a first time for everything, right?
And also, apparently, do you hate being called boy?
Just because I'm younger, so I mean, of course they're gonna say it.
But James, are you trying to be older?
James is old as shit. Yeah. He might not look like it. He's built like a prepubescent teen, but
No, James isn't great. But did you see that James met Hulk Hogan, by the way, and shook hands with him? Did you see that on Friday?
Congratulations, James.
Met the Hulkster.
I've met Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. I got to walk down beside him when they did the Shield entrance. I mean, that's pretty cool, right, James? I meet people too. I got a picture with Scott Steiner.
Are you a part of the WWE ID program? Is that what you're telling us right now?
Hey, sign me up. Sign me up.
Are you a part of the WWE ID program? Are you here for us tonight to tell us?
I mean, I could be. Could be keeping all the secret. And I'll take the IMF United States Championship with me.
You'd be able to do that?
I can I'm a negotiating man. Yeah, I'm a businessman.
Well, it takes one to know one. What transition, Omen? You mean joining an actual relevant company? I think he's talking about Anthony Steele trying to join IMF. But you've been in IMF, but maybe after Saturday, we don't know. Soldier GP hates my guts because I rated finish her the stunner. It is what it is. Oh, because she's trying to say that she likes James Taylor's stunner more than Soldier GP's. But I'm going to say I like both stunners. I like them both. Soldier doesn't hate Zilla. Yes. Oh, why? I didn't make it clear. His transition on being what they call in the streets. Oh, okay. I got that. Well, Soldier GP.
I'm gonna try to censor this. If I'm a biatch, Omen, why am I wanting this fight? Why am I sitting here amping up this fight? If I'm such a biatch, why am I willing to step in the ring with you?
Well, because maybe you're putting on a brave face.
See, I'm brave, period. I mean,
nobody would say that you wouldn't be afraid to talk, but maybe you just, trying to figure out how to prepare for this.
I know what to do. Endure damage, but dish it out.
But how would you know if you haven't been in a match like this?
Endure as much pain and dish it right back.
1-1 in singles competition against you. Fatal 4-ways don't count. Also, I wouldn't know about the bad booking. That would be above my pay grade. I'm not sure what that's referring to.
You took the pinfall, James. It's 2-1.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave that at that. But I did enjoy the match. Judas would like to say this. I will say that if anyone can be creative with a fans bring the weapons match, it's Steele. Okay, that's a respectful view.
Period. Like I said, they don't have to like me. They just have to know that I'm good at it.
Would you give advice to Nolan Money McDermott and the Evil Angel Judas or no?
I mean, if they need advice. I mean, probably Nolan's gonna have to drop that little attitude thing that he can do something.
Look, Judas comes here. I don't know how well you know Judas. Before I get to something else, he comes here, he's well dressed. He comes here and he's methodical, and he seems like he knows what he's doing a little bit.
Yeah, he knows that I'm about to whip Omen Black's ass on Saturday. So I mean, it's the same thing, man. He understands that Omen Black is his territory, but when an outsider comes in that's done it before Omen Black. I was doing hardcore matches before Omen Black even debuted on the scene. I mean, Omen, am I really stepping into your territory? Or am I just stepping into your arena? That's what you got to take into consideration.
Well,
you
Mr. Black
are the faces.
He disagrees with Judas. Judas, if you are rooting for Steele, you're on the wrong side. I don't know if he's rooting for him or not. I wouldn't be able to comment on that, but Dilla definitely is a fan of yours. Kids do the dumbest stuff nowadays. clear idiot. Okay. He is allowed to have an opinion. Zilla does respect Judas. We appreciate that. Anthony, are you going to shave before your match? A real heel would be clean shaven and not rough edge looking. You don't want to tell me what
and a dude that wants to try to stay relevant in wrestling would actually go wrestle a match, but here we are. So
he did. He wrestled you.
No,
he wrestled you.
Yeah. And guess who's the one that got him booked?
But did you see TikTok? He's got his most recent post had like 170 likes in 5 minutes.
Congratulations, you're fucking a TikTok sensation.
Pays the bills. Money McMuffin will surpass aluminum foil in a year's time easily. He's got his money on Nolan Money McDermott over you.
Of course he does. He don't like me. I don't like him. So, of course, James is going to not root for me.
He didn't seem like he liked Nolan Money McDermott either, though.
James is like the ex-girlfriend that doesn't want you but then still comes back. So, I mean, he roots for who he wants to at that point in time. The moment someone pisses him off, he roots against them. This is coming from the dude that said, hey, why don't me, you, and Soldier GP team together? Why don't me, you, and Justin Parsley team together? Why don't me, you do this and this and this? Like, James, make up your mind.
I'm going to leave out some of that stuff because I wouldn't really know about what you guys want to do as a team or not. But, I mean, between Omen's ability in hardcore situations and Steele's creativity, it's going to burn down the house. I think that's a very objective statement. I agree. I think it's going to be a great match, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen here coming up this Saturday. But, Anthony, before we get ready to close the show out and potentially have one surprise your way, I did want to ask, we have this battle royal coming up here to determine, obviously, what's going to happen at Winter Clash for the IMF World Heavyweight Championship. I know you're going to be a huge part of that. And I was wondering, Anthony, what's your opinion on it? You got this big match here, which is going to be intense. No question, it's going to take a lot out of you. But what do you think is going to happen there in that battle royal?
Well, after I'm done beating Omen, I'm going to walk in and secure my spot to become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. I told
you're going to have to go through other participants, other competitors. So that's not going to be easy.
Remember this: in September, when the contract was laid out in front of me, I had the opportunity to fight Soldier GP for the World Championship, and I told you I don't want an easy way. I don't want an easy way in for the world title. I want to work. I want to show that it means something. So in this battle royal, it's going to show that I'm working. It's going to show that I want this. And when I win the battle royal, I will be able to face Mephisto or Prince of Chia, whichever one wins this Saturday.
But that's going to be but that's a tall order for you, don't you think? You got to defend the United States Championship, and then on top of that, you've got to go out there and then in this battle royal where a lot of people are going to have for you marked for your own wrestling death. I mean, there's going to be guys out there and, maybe even one guy that we were here with last Tuesday. I'm not going to go there and mention that name, but there's going to be people, us and Jovi's going to be a part of that, I'm sure. There's going to be a lot of people that, you don't see eye to eye with that, I'm sure would jump at the chance, especially a wounded Anthony Steele, to eliminate him over the top rope.
They could try. Like I said, the whole thing that I'm trying to get y'all to understand is I can take a beating and still come back. So I'm not saying that I'm going to go into this match with Omen Black and come out unscathed. That's not a possibility. But I'm saying when I step in the ring with Omen Black on Saturday and I beat him, I'm going to be sore. My body's going to hurt.
So let's go with it objectively. We're here with Anthony Steele, the IMF United States champion. As a reminder, we're going to be here Wednesday night around the same time with your favorites who are going to be there. IMF's upcoming show, Dirty Deeds. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voiced figuratively and literally. We're all wrestling matters. But let's go with it here. Omen, he defeats you, right? Let's say he defeats you. I'm going to give your scenario first after I go to Omen's. So Omen wins, right? Let's say he wins this because he's comfortable in hardcore matches. He does this all the time. For him, it's like a walk in the park. He's going to be able to adjust himself and calibrate to win that battle royal. You said it here yourself. You haven't wrestled in a hardcore match in more than a year. You win and retain your title against Omen Black. You're going to have a lot, I think, in terms of just what you win through. And then to go back and prepare for that battle royal, you're going to have, I think, more of an uphill climb in Omen. And that's an objective state because he wrestles these matches all the time. He's in battle royals. He's got the size. Who's going to throw him over? You're going to have to throw everything at the kitchen sink at him to keep your United States title. And if you win, how are you going to be able to pull that up?
Fight. That's my whole thing is fight. I got to keep fighting. And that's what I plan on doing this Saturday is fight. That's my only objective this Saturday.
Take a lot out of you. There's no question that the hardcore title match is going to take out more from you than, let's say, the match with Jovi. And I would even say the matches you've had with Jovi and Nets combined. This is going to take more out of you than those two altogether. You don't agree?
You're correct. And I'm not going to knock Omen Black. I'm not going to say this is going to be an easy task. But I know that I have the willpower to do it. I know that I have the willpower to walk into this match and come out still the IMF United States champion.
But that would be a lot to come out of it, retain the U.S. title, and win the battle. That would still be a lot.
I'll say this. Omen, let's make a gentleman's agreement.
A gentleman's agreement here. Okay.
As you saw this past weekend, I admitted you beat me. You beat me over a year and a half ago. When I beat you this Saturday, I want you to reciprocate that. I want you to come on here and tell the world that Anthony Steele not only beat you at your own game, but he retained the United States Championship against you. One-on-one, no interference from any other person, just me and you.
Let me ask you this question. This Saturday, hypothetically, you retain the United States title and win that battle royal. Would this be the most successful night of your career?
Yeah.
It would.
Yes. To walk in that night and defeat Omen Black and then also become the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. That will solidify that not only am I here to bust my ass and prove what I'm made of and what I've done for the past almost 8 years, but it proves to the world that Anthony Steele is willing to put in the work. Anthony Steele is willing to sacrifice his body to do what these fans love to come to watch.
And it would prove, let's just say, places you were at that it didn't work out. Maybe it wasn't your fault so much. And to come here and it would be a sense of vindication, potentially. You retain the U.S. title and win that battle. I still think it's very tall odds to do both. I could certainly see a possibility of winning one or the other, but to win both, that would be vindication for you, don't you think?
100%.
Okay.
And when that happens, all those guys that say that I do it for myself, not the love of the sport. No, it's because I want to show everybody that when the battle is put in front of you, don't run, face it head on.
I respect that.
When you face it head on, there's only two outcomes. You either win or you lose. And whether I walk into that battle royal and win or lose, I'm going to continue busting my ass until I make it to that World Heavyweight Championship match. And once I get my shot at the World Heavyweight title, I will then become the new IMF World Heavyweight Champion.
Let me ask you one question before I bring on my surprise before we end the show tonight. Mephisto or Prince Achia? Who would you want?
Who would I want?
Who would you want? Who would you want to face?
Mephisto.
Not Prince Achia.
Because this is why. See, this Saturday, I'm facing Omen, who's bigger than me, in a sense. And if I go on to win that battle royal, then at Winter Clash, I'll face a guy that's same size as me. Because lately, everyone thinks that I just bury the smaller talent and that I can't fight a fight against a guy my size. And that's what I look to prove this week and for the near future is that Anthony Steele is willing to fight anyone and can beat anyone.
Okay, well, you know what? You're going to first have to win the battle royal, and you're going to first have to try to retain your United States Championship. But I know there's some people here in the chat, but before we sign off, I do have a surprise. It is, I think, only right that I bring this surprise on, and I don't think you have much of a choice on this one.
Come on, Omen.
Well, what if it was Nolan Money McDermott?
Yeah, at that point, I have a choice. Omen,
well, what if I wanted to bring him on instead?
it ain't going to get the buzz that you're looking for. Omen, you want to chat?
I mean, it's up to what the chat, but your wish is my command. Because it is his show, and he's had enough.
I'm just here to say one thing to you, Steele. See, you got it all wrong. You have everything to lose. You do. I got nothing to lose. That's the beauty of it. I got nothing to lose. Like Tom said, this is the walk in the park for me. See, you have to prove yourself in IMF. I've already proved myself in IMF, the Midwest, hell, in all underground wrestling.
Summer Bash.
I've done something that no one thought I could do. I surpassed you. 20 months ago, when I challenged you, I used you. Sorry, I got a phone call coming in. I used you as a stepping stone 20 months ago. I played the system, Steele. Now, this Saturday, when I beat you to become the United States champion, you'll have to face me again in that battle royal, which, Steele, you have no chance in the battle royal. I'll say this right now, Tom. No one in that battle royal's got a chance.
I mean,
Let me ask you one question.
No,
let
I'm
me,
done with your question. Done with your question. Don't
no.
talking.
Let me ask you this.
Saturday.
One at a time.
You want to have this little gentleman's agreement. I'll do you one better. When I beat you, I'll shake your goddamn hand and give you a fucking hot dog on your way out to Illinois.
He talked about the hot dogs in Illinois.
You know what? Oh, and you left.
Well, don't worry. There might be one more surprise before we sign off. One more wants to give you a word of support. But while we do get ready to sign off, this is the IMF's YouTube page. You can watch the footage here. And you can also go to the Palo Community Center by going to the IMF YouTube page. Also, Anthony, I am donating one ticket to the show here coming up this Saturday. And we're going to have you and Omen back on Wednesday. So don't you worry, Anthony. You guys are going to do it again on Wednesday. Less than 48 hours now. You're going to see him anyway. So, I'm sure.
He has no choice to hear me out.
On Wednesday, he has no choice?
On Wednesday, he has no choice. Because I'm going to ask that question. And I'm going to ask it to his face. And I don't want a bullshit fucking answer. He wants to do hypothetical.
Advice, Anthony, because you got a great shot at that battle royal. You got a great shot, but the only advice is don't get caught up in those personal beefs. Because there's a guy that last Tuesday that we're not even going to mention his name. Out of respect to you and respect to that individual, we don't want to go there, but just stay on focus. Stay focused. Stay focused on wrestling. Stay focused on the prize. Don't even think about last Tuesday. Don't even think about anybody else you've got issues with in IMF. Just be a sinner. Just Do you. Just be Anthony Steele. You're going to be Anthony Steele, unpredictable, but be unpredictable in that wrestling ring. That'd be my only advice for you to have a chance to pull this historic feat off. And just maybe then you'll get Mephisto or Prince Achia. And maybe you'll be the ultimate sinner of them all. But that'll be my advice. You can do what you want. But, is there anything else you want to say? Any other closing thoughts you might want to get to before we get ready to sign off? And we're going to do this again on Wednesday anyway. You're going to be here, and, you and Omen are going to go back and forth, and we'll just resume it then pretty much.
I mean, if you got another guest, bring them on.
Well, there would be one person that might be, we may see them on. But, before then, obviously, is there anything else you want to say before Wednesday, before we do this again?
I'm going to ask the question now, and I'm going to ask it to your face.
Yes, sir.
In 2 days, Omen. You want to pull a hypothetical? Let me pull one. If you were to lose on Saturday, and I were to extend my hand, would you shake it? Would you shake it? That's the question. Would you understand? Would you understand that at that point in time, I had your number? I'm not going to knock you on. Lately, you have been on a war path. But this Saturday, I'm going to go to war with you. We're going to tear the house down if we have to.
If it's left standing in the Palo Community Center between that and the Battle Royal, I don't even know if it's going to be standing.
But I want you to know this, Almond. I don't fear you. I'm not afraid of what you can do. But just know, I'm one dude that can take it and dish it right the fuck back out.
We're going to find out. I'll tell you what, Anthony Steele, I don't know if this is cryptic talk tonight between the nameless one, between you and Omen Black, the back and forth, between you and other people here in the chat tonight, between other members of the Sinners. I mean, Justin Parsley says he owes you one, and I'm going to get you to the finals of that battle royal for you. He's calling you his brother, and Ox McCoy is talking about crap hoses, and we've even seen Jason Myers here. I mean, IMF members have been here back and forth. James Taylor, your longtime nemesis, has been feuding with you. We even saw appearances from the Young Guns, Nolan Money McDermott, and Judas the Evil Angel. I mean, you have definitely had a live chat. Like, it's a usual Anthony Steele show. Is a usual Anthony Steele show with a live crowd, and definitely an animated crowd, a tough crowd, but I think it's going to be a lot tougher in the Palo Community Center. And we're going to find out. You might be the show. You might be the most controversial figure in backyard and underground wrestling history, but we're going to see if you can continue your reign and see what you want and see it come to fruition here coming up. We're going to have to find out. I'll tell you that much here. And if you want to follow Anthony, that is his Instagram page. Check him out. He is on Instagram. He is at Anthony_Steele 27510. He is also part of the IMF. The IMF is going to be here again. Anthony is back here Wednesday night. You know, Anthony, you said you weren't on here so much. Well, you're here two times in the next 3 days. I mean, at this point, you might just do an Occupy Anthony here on Sportswire. But you have received good luck from Taffy's Lounge. I do want to give Taffy's Lounge a big follow because that is the page, of course, from our dear friend James Taylor, the legendary James Taylor, of course, a man that has a lot of history with Anthony Steele. And if you'd like to follow Taffy's Lounge and hear some lo-fi beats, some hip-hop, and some other type songs that are definitely smooth and maybe as smooth as Anthony Steele's Claymore or maybe smooth as some of those chops, that is the Taffy's Lounge YouTube channel. I know Anthony's always got that locked up. Anthony, I know when you're driving to Iowa, you've always got Taffy's Lounge on. You've got them in your headphones. Driving it. What do you mean?
Nah, don't listen to that bullshit.
Really? He's got 1,600 plus subscribers. It's not bullshit.
Congratulations. Do you want to show your cookie?
But
look.
Well, I hope that people do listen to it. I hope if you are here, go hit the sub for Taffy's Lounge. Go hit the sub button for the IMF. Go hit the sub button for Sportswire Radio. I think we've pretty much been out of surprises, but I got respect for your Taffy's Lounge. I got respect for James Taylor. I got respect for Omen Black. I got respect for Soldier GP. I also got respect for Anthony Steele. I definitely got respect for Justin Parsley. I definitely got respect for Ox McCoy. I definitely got respect for Jason Myers. I definitely got respect for Zilla. And I most certainly have respect for the likes of Nolan Money McDermott and Evil Angel Judas. And we definitely got respect for everybody else that tuned in here, Anthony. I tried to cover all my tracks here. Trying to be a typical politician. You always call me a typical politician. So I was just trying to make sure I cover all of my tracks here. But Anthony, I pass the baton to you. We do this again in 48 hours. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say, the floor is yours.
5 days, Omen. Leave it as simple as that. In 5 days, me and you, one-on-one, one more time. And I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm prepared. And I have the best mindset walking into this match. And I hope that you're ready. Because the moment you take me lightly, the moment I'm going to turn your world upside down, homie. That's all I'm going to be saying until Wednesday.
I cannot wait. And in between that, we got the Brooklyn Prodigies here. They're going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. They're going to talk about Jimmy Controversy. They're going to talk about Gabe Sayers, a man that you've wrestled, Anthony Steele. And they're going to talk about some of the other favorites, Gang Rail, Sabu, Tarzan Duran, some of the big names in this circuit, in this wrestling world that we all love dearly. And before then, follow the IMF. Follow Anthony Steele. Anthony Steele's got merchandise, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Anthony's always rocking that. He's rocking those Jordans. He's rocking that Steele 23 jersey. And he's got, boy, a lot to say. And I'm just going to say that we're focusing on Anthony Steele versus Omen Black coming up here this Saturday, Palo Community Center. And yours truly is donating a ticket to a lucky fan out there. You want to go and watch Anthony Steele versus Omen Black and the other great matches. Justin Parsley is going to be in the house. Ox McCoy is going to be in the house. Soldier GP is going to be in the house. Felix Jones is going to be in the house. Damian Saint's going to be in the house. Mephisto, Prince of Chia, Sean Jovi is going to be in the house. Yeah, Anthony Steele is going to be in the house. The most controversial figure in Backyard Underground Wrestling history, the real deal. I mean, everyone's going to be there. Most of them are going to be here. El Drago is going to be here. The Samoan Dragon's going to be in the house. I mean, I'm excited. Ace Diamond. I mean, just Jason Myers, Jordan Netz, I mean, Freddie Daniels, and we'll certainly see what happens there. But, Anthony, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see if you are going to be victorious on not one but two fronts coming up here this Saturday, and we'll see you Wednesday. And thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. And Omen, I'll see you in 48 hours.
All right, well, that was Anthony Steele. That is the 5-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, the real deal himself, the most controversial figure in backyard, underground, and independent wrestling history. He's the reigning, defending IMF United States champion of the world. He will be in action coming up here this Saturday, Palo Community Center, sold-out crowd, Dirty Deeds, defending that U.S. title against Omen Black. He's also going to be a part of that battle royal to decide who will main event for that World Heavyweight Championship between the winner of Mephisto and Prince of Chia at Winter Clash, the one-year anniversary show for the IMF. And we'll be here at Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And 30 seconds, Omen Black has decided he wants a 30
Sorry, I had to take care of, like, big boy shit, man shit. Sorry, Anthony, you wouldn't know anything about that. But I heard your hypothetical. Would I shake your hand if you stuck it out for me after you beat me hypothetically? Which will never fucking happen. But Steele, yeah, I'll shake your hand. Just the fact that you acknowledged what has happened, I'll shake your goddamn hand.
I'll see you Saturday.
Ooh, Anthony, just subdued answer there. It's a more subdued Anthony Steele tonight. I still say, Anthony, you might say you're prepared for this, but you haven't been in a hardcore match in over a year. Certainly.
You haven't. You haven't been doing this consecutively for a long time. So I guess this is a true test for you, Anthony.
It's a big test. And you know what, Anthony? I hope that you have studied for this, and I hope that you did a lot better coming up here than I did when I was in law class back in college, but we'll see. We don't want to certainly compare, but you've got Omen Black, and it's going to be a test like no other, and we will certainly see what happens. And you gentlemen are going to be here Wednesday night. Once again, you guys are going to be back here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you two gentlemen helped build. You guys are going to be here, and I can't wait for it. Everyone else can't, and please follow the IMF. Support them on all social medias, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Just go out there and support them. I can't wait for this show. And I tell you what, Anthony Steele, we're doing this in 48 hours between you two. Thank you, everybody. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally. We're all wrestling matters. I want to thank, to start the show off here earlier in the day, I want to thank Hybrid, the former CCW World Underground Champion, 24/7 OK Champion. I want to thank Omen Black and Anthony Steele also for being here. I want to thank everybody in the chat, and I'll be here 7 o'clock tomorrow with the Brooklyn Prodigies, Behemoth and Ray Lewis. And again, everybody's here right around the same time. Figure about 9:15 on Wednesday, your favorite stars in the IMF to get you ready for dirty deeds, and they won't be done dirt cheap. I promise you. We are definitely, let's just say, going to be on no stairway to heaven, but rather a highway to hell, and you're going to definitely be shook up all night long when these guys are all back here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one, Global Radio.